Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy on Thursday said his country's forces had inflicted significant losses on Russian troops during counteroffensive operations in the eastern Donetsk region. According to Associated Press speaking from an outpost in the region, Zelensky said 160 square kilometers and 7 settlements had been liberated from Russian occupation, with over 100 Russian prisoners taken. The Ukrainian leader added that Russia had lost over 2,500 personnel, with over 1,300 killed amid intense fighting. "Our guys are performing brilliantly," he said.
Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці, українки. Сьогодні Донеччина, Краматорськ, Слов'янськ, наші бойові бригади, спілкування з нашими воїнами. Я відзначив державними нагородами саме за успіхи в боях найкращих наших воїнів, тих, хто проявив себе найбільше цими тижнями. Ми здійснюємо зараз одну з наших контрнаступальних операцій. Хлопці молодці на Донецькому напрямку, в районі Покровська, в районі Добропілля, жорсткі бої, але вдалося завдати росіянам відчутних втрат. Фактично, наші сили позбавляють окупанта можливості здійснити на цьому напрямку наступальну, повноцінну операцію, яку вони планували довго і на яку розраховували. Спочатку Сумщина була у них, тепер тут. І українські підрозділи досягають результату для України. Я дякую всім, хто задіяний. Операція триває так, як ми визначали. Важливий успіх України. Дякую ДШВ, штурмовим полкам і батальйонам, і всім нашим піхотинцям, розвідникам, артилеристам, підрозділам Національної гвардії. Дякую кожному, хто забезпечує безпілотну складову. Була сьогодні перша доповідь головкома Сирського по результатах. За час від початку операції наші воїни вже звільнили 160 квадратних кілометрів, ще більш ніж 170 квадратних кілометрів очищені від окупанта. Суттєво поповнили наш обмінний фонд, майже сотня вже є російських полонених. Будуть ще вже 7 населених пунктів на напрямку звільнені, ще 9 очищені від російської присутності. Будь-яку групу окупантів, які намагаються сюди заходити, знищують наші хлопці. Втрати росіян тільки від початку цієї нашої контрнаступальної операції, тільки в районі Покровська, тільки цими тижнями вже більш ніж 2,5 тисячі, із них більш ніж 1300 росіян вбито. Україна цілком справедливо захищає свої позиції, захищає свою землю. Це героїчний захист. Я пишаюсь нашими воїнами, пишаюсь нашими людьми. Україна в цій війні знаходить захист від кожної російської підлості. Ми зриваємо всі їх російські плани знищення нашої держави. Наша оборона завжди активна, і ми довели, що українці можуть досягати необхідних результатів, навіть тоді досягати, коли багато хто в світі очікує результатів від Росії. Важливо, щоб і партнери діяли достойно, саме так, як наші люди заслуговують на підтримку. Росію треба змусити до миру. Це може зробити Україна за наявності достатньої сили в нашій армії, достатньої далекобійності. Це може зробити світ разом з нами, безумовно, з сильними санкціями проти Росії, з сильним тиском і таким же сильним, як і сильні наші люди. Я хочу подякувати кожному, хто б'ється заради України. Слава Україні!
There is no fighting in central Kupiansk, Lieutenant Colonel Alexei Belsky, spokesman for the Dnipro Joint Forces Command, told. The Russians' goal is to retake Kupiansk. The Dnipro Special Operations Unit reported on the situation in the city and the tactics the Russians are using. Reports of fighting in the city center are untrue. The occupiers are operating in northern Kupiansk, where they managed to infiltrate from the areas of the villages of Redkovka and Golubovka. The occupiers are eliminated, and some are captured, he reported. Belsky also noted that the captured Russians said they infiltrated the city in groups of 2 to 9 people. Some of them were dressed in civilian clothes. Each group had its own mission. Specifically, one group's goal was to seize a 5-story building at a specific address, while the other group's goal was to seize a 9-story building. He reported that the defense forces flooded that ill-fated pipe through which the Russian exited to the outskirts of Kupiansk. As a result of these actions, the occupiers try to cross the Oskol River on rafts and boats. The occupiers have also been tasked with killing all civilian males between the ages of 18 and 60. Women and children are to be used as human shields if necessary. An operation is currently underway to block and eliminate the occupiers who have infiltrated Kupiansk, said a spokesman for the Dnipro Joint Forces movement. While the Russian propaganda machine disperses fakes about Kupiansk and its surroundings, the Russian stormtroopers themselves share unforgettable impressions and send greetings to their commander, Orla, the hero of Russia, better known as the commander of the death squad. Therefore, Orla himself, who planned the operation brilliantly, threw them without support, without food, forced them to remove plates from bulletproof vests before entering the tube. Recall, Russian troops were recently found attempting to infiltrate battle lines in Kharkiv by crawling through an underground pipe, with Kiev's forces trying to stop them by flooding or fortifying such ducts. Ukrainian observers publicly identified the pipeline tactic last week in Kupiansk, a city in the Kharkiv region that has seen heavy fighting along the front lines. It's the third time since the war began that Russian forces have been found crawling or walking in gas or water pipes to avoid detection, and the tactic could present a growing defensive challenge for Ukraine. The General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces confirmed in a statement that Russian troops had used a pipeline to move troops near Kupiansk, though it said that the city is still under Ukrainian control. The pipe's exit was not located in the city itself, the General Staff wrote, adding that Ukrainian forces had flooded several such passageways. It should be noted that there are several pipelines in the Kupiansk area, the statement read. 3 of the 4 lines have already been damaged and flooded, and the exit of the 4th is under the control of the defense forces.
In Belgorod, the situation is becoming increasingly grim. According to Russian propagandists, more than 250 drones have flown into the city in 3 days. The streets are emptying. Residents are taking their children out en masse, and there are constant explosions and gunfire overhead. Z propagandist Marina Akhmedova admitted the city looks deserted. After the morning attacks, many Belgorod residents left. It became impossible to be with children. You can easily feel how the UAVs are rushing towards the city center, towards the administration. She complains. According to her, the attacks do not stop day or night. Drones are replaced by missiles. Everything is accompanied by explosions and automatic fire. Russian bloggers admit life in Belgorod has turned into a nightmare. It is unsafe to walk the streets, and fragments of downed drones are constantly falling around. For the first time on their own soil, people have felt what Ukraine has been experiencing for several years. Ukrainian journalist Denis Kazansky sharply commented on the situation. It's not a very pleasant situation, is it? We thought that drones and missiles would be used to hit Ukrainians with impunity, but look how it all turned out. We could, for example, leave Ukraine alone, stop the war, and all this will end. Belgorod authorities introduced new restrictions on sharing information about drone attacks in the region. The Astra Telegram channel noted, due to the current situation and the threat of drone attacks, additional security measures are being taken in Belgorod Oblast. Belgorod Governor Vyacheslav Gladkov wrote, it is forbidden to spread in public space, including on the internet, any information related to the work of the military, their locations, equipment, or civilian infrastructure. Belgorod Oblast, which borders Ukraine's Kharkiv, Sumy, and Luhansk oblasts, has served as a staging ground for Moscow's attacks. Strikes are frequently launched from the region against Ukrainian territory. Gladkov noted that only official representatives of government bodies, law enforcement, and security services may publish details of attacks. Citizens are allowed to post videos of attack aftermaths only published by authorities. Administrative penalties will apply for violations, though specifics were not provided. Gladkov also announced that parents in local kindergartens will be required to attend first aid courses. Russian authorities have repeatedly accused Ukraine of striking Belgorod Oblast and Belgorod city since the start of the full-scale war.